So I recently watched the movie Frankenstein. I really didn't know what to think going in, primarily because I had seen a lot of good things about this movie, but I really didn't know what kind of movie it was going to be. Knowing how many horrible movies and shows, especially adaptations, have been released in the past few years, I was really skeptical of it, and at best would have been happy with a film that was just entertaining. Little did I know how much I shouldn't have worried about it. Stay till the end to learn why Frankenstein's monster is so unique. Also, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie, go and watch it. Going in, I was immediately taken back by the great cinematography. This movie really had a way of perfectly capturing its environments. The scenes portrayed were always in a way magnificent. Not all of them, of course, but there are a lot of majestic environments that help sell the aesthetic this movie was going for. For example, in the first scene, we get a beautiful Arctic landscape with a huge sail ship in the middle, or a few minutes later where you get a huge majestic mansion. These are the small yet significant details that really help to sell the idea of what this movie is about. The grand natural landscapes contrasted with the grand human designs, immediately portraying the relationship between humans and God. The prime example of this would be Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory itself. Its brutalist architecture in the contrast of an empty and vast natural landscape. Though I grant you, I might definitely be reading way too deep into what just as well might have been an aesthetic choice. Though, what exactly makes the story unique and different? I mean, it might have solid visuals, but there are plenty of ways to tell a story, so what did the directors do so perfectly? One of the most important things that make this movie so intriguing is its setting. While most of the film is set in England, it is all, at the core, happening in the captain's cabin, aboard the ship Horizon. Victor Frankenstein, having barely escaped the creature, is telling his side of the story to the captain, and then when the creature finds them, it tells its tale there as well. At first, I was not too fond of this choice, since I never really favored those kinds of movies, because they make the memories feel like memories and not real events that are happening then and there. But for this movie, they executed it so perfectly that it didn't take away from the experience at all. It is important to note that the film is an adaptation of the Gothic novel Frankenstein, written by Mary Shelley in 1818, and from what I've read, this film is one of the most faithful adaptations to the original novel. So, what about Victor Frankenstein? In the movie, we see that his drive to create this monster came from his father letting his mother die. This sent him on a lifelong journey to defeat death. On his journey to create life from death, he started forming a relationship with his brother's fiancée. This was one of the most devastatingly beautiful story arcs of the film. In fact, the whole movie has this way of perfectly making death and despair beautiful. One of the prime examples is when Frankenstein is assembling the monster. On one side, it is disgusting to look at, but on the other, there is an incredible beauty to it. The way he perfectly and meticulously creates this new and horrible form of life. So this is where I get to my main point, the monster. At first, we see him as this innocent yet incredibly powerful creature. Knowing that in the end Victor will be running from it, I knew that it was going to go mad, but the real question was when and how. After some sort of affection for it, Victor immediately drags it down to the cellars and chains it up. I think this was a prelude to what was going to happen in the future. Victor never loved it. He had spent all his life trying to create it, and now that Victor's dream had finally come true, he wished he had never done it. Eventually, Victor goes absolutely mad and blows everything up, save for the monster who barely escaped, though it would have survived anyway. It is here that we start following the creature's perspective. Having barely escaped the man's, the monster wanders and eventually stumbles upon a deer, which, after a moment of mutual affection, is shot in the head. Here the creature meets hunters, who immediately shoot at it, showing that he doesn't belong in this world, that even at a peaceful state he will be despised and hated. This is a theme that follows him throughout the whole film, even from the beginning, where the sailors shot at him even if he was of no threat to them. So in the new world, the creature experiences nothing but despise and loathing, save from two people, Elizabeth, Victor's love, and the blind man in the cabin who taught him how to read and speak. These are the two only people who ever truly cared about the monster, and were able to form a deeper relationship beyond just please don't hurt me. After the blind man died, the monster searched for Victor, and when he found him, he asked Victor to make him a partner. He thought that it would solve his problems, but Victor obviously refused to create another one like him, sending the creature into a fit of rage, and it ending when Victor shot Elizabeth, killing not only his true love, but also the monsters. During the final scenes, where we get to see the creature back in the ship's cabin with Victor, we learn that he truly wants to be able to die. Victor created death, and death cannot die, so it is doomed to live forever as a being everyone hates, and those few who ever cared for it having tragically died. In the end, Victor begged for forgiveness for everything he had done, and thankfully for him, the monster forgave him. With his last words, Victor also urged the monster to not try and look for death, but to embrace the gift that is life. Having always wanted death and never having lived, he was chasing after something that he was not even really ready for yet. So, Frankenstein's monster never wanted revenge. All he wanted was release. Release from the life of being a manifestation of death in a physical and immortal form. I think this film beautifully takes on the full circle story arc, where the story ends right where it began, and also in a way where the ending is the true beginning. The monster starts its life in this vast and dangerous yet truly beautiful world. Having settled the conflict with his creator and the people he loved, Frankenstein's monster was able to let go of his need to die and attempt to live. This is one of those movies where the logic is kind of reversed. Instead of the monster being this big bad creature and the creator being a generic good guy, here the real monster was Victor, and his creation just a misunderstood form of life. Throughout the film, you see the monster trying and attempting to be human, being gifted with all the abilities of a human, but living without the soul of one. I think the monster did get a soul when he forgave his creator, because that was not something a soulless monster could have done. This film beautifully asked the question of what happens when the monster wants to die, and what exactly it means to be human. In conclusion, this movie was an unexpected gem. It played beautifully into themes that delve into the deepest of meanings for me and I believe many other people. It asked the questions of what it means to be human in an age where we're facing the same dilemmas. If you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you think about this topic, or maybe you have unanswered questions or suggestions. In any case, check out the channel for more in-depth videos like this. Live long and prosper.